Tesla's stock has just dropped by 8%, pulling its market cap below the $1 trillion mark for the first time since last November. For over 10 years, Tesla reigned supreme in the EV world. It shaped the market, defined the standards, and outpaced every competitor. But now, its dominance is faltering. Rivals are catching up fast, and Elon Musk is racing to catch up. So, what went wrong? What does this mean for the future of electric vehicles, and can Tesla bounce back before the damage becomes irreversible? From pricing missteps and market shifts to China's bold EV expansion, Tesla's once solid lead is now under serious threat. Stick around, because what comes next could reshape the EV landscape entirely. For the first time ever, Tesla is no longer the top-selling EV maker in the world. Chinese giant BYD has surpassed Tesla, delivering over 526,000 vehicles, compared to Tesla's 484,000. This wasn't a fluke or a statistical outlier, it was the result of long-brewing competition, strategic errors, and an evolving global EV market. While Tesla grappled with delays, supply chain problems, and pricing mistakes, BYD was flawlessly executing a well-thought-out strategy years in the making. Tesla's slide didn't come from one major collapse, but from a buildup of smaller issues that had been ignored for too long. These once manageable problems eventually chipped away at Tesla's grip on the market. The real question now isn't just how Tesla lost its lead, but whether it can regain it. How did the company once seen as the future of transportation begin to stumble? The red flags had been visible for a while. Tesla, once an innovation powerhouse, with its long-range batteries, advanced software, and direct sales model, fell into the trap of complacency. As other automakers tried to catch up, Tesla stayed ahead, but began to assume it always would. That assumption led to major mistakes: slow product updates, ongoing production hiccups, and worsening quality issues. One clear sign of Tesla's complacency was its outdated lineup. The Model S, Model 3, and Model Y led the pack for years, but Tesla failed to introduce fresh designs or meaningful updates quickly enough. Customers were left waiting as rivals like BYD, Volkswagen, Hyundai, and Ford launched exciting new EVs, with better interiors, more variety, and smarter pricing. Tesla also consistently missed delivery targets. Long waits, inconsistent timelines, and declining build quality turned off loyal buyers. Tesla's image as a cutting-edge engineering company started to erode, replaced by complaints about panel misalignments, buggy software, and malfunctioning driver assistance systems. Another blow was Tesla's failure to pivot on pricing. Banking on its premium brand appeal, Tesla assumed buyers would keep paying top dollar, even as competitors released affordable EVs with no compromise in quality. Tesla held its high pricing too long, and by the time it reacted, it had already lost ground. Perhaps the gravest miscalculation Tesla made was believing brand loyalty alone would keep customers on board. In a fast-evolving EV market with more options than ever, that just wasn't true anymore. Consumers wanted cheaper, well-built EVs, and Tesla was too slow to respond. While Tesla coasted on its name, BYD was quietly building a game-changing strategy that would upend the EV world. Western automakers once mocked Chinese EV makers, labeling them low-quality and unthreatening. Even Elon Musk once laughed at BYD. But that underestimation may go down as one of Tesla's biggest mistakes. While Tesla focused on luxury performance and advanced software, BYD was playing an entirely different game, one Tesla hadn't prepared for. Instead of going after high-end buyers, BYD targeted the mass market. It built a cost-efficient production system, streamlined manufacturing, and established a supply chain Tesla couldn't compete with. Backed by strong government support in China, BYD was able to offer EVs at much lower prices while still maintaining healthy profit margins. A major advantage for BYD was its control over battery production. Unlike Tesla, which depended on external suppliers, BYD made its own batteries. This vertical integration reduced costs and stabilized supply, allowing BYD to scale globally with affordable, reliable EVs, a combination that changed the game entirely. But BYD's success wasn't just about low prices, it was also about volume. As Tesla wrestled with production delays and supply chain challenges, BYD was ramping up output, expanding quickly into emerging markets, and even pushing into Tesla's strongholds. By the end of 2023, BYD's strategy had fundamentally reshaped the EV landscape. Tesla was no longer the dominant force, it was just one of many players, now up against a company that could produce more vehicles, sell them cheaper, and compete on a global scale. Tesla's decline wasn't only driven by BYD's rise, it was accelerated by its own missteps. One of the most damaging was Tesla's 2023 price war. To defend its market share, the company slashed prices by over 20% on some models. Initially, this boosted sales, drawing in new customers, but the long-term fallout was severe. Tesla's brand took a hit, profits shrank, and early buyers felt betrayed as resale values dropped sharply. Many cancelled orders, anticipating further price cuts, and lawsuits followed, accusing Tesla of manipulative pricing tactics. Worse yet, the strategy failed to eliminate competitors. BYD and others quickly matched Tesla's price drops, neutralizing its short-term advantage. Unlike Tesla, which was already dealing with rising production costs, BYD could afford to lower prices without hurting its margins. This price war revealed a deeper issue. Tesla was no longer leading, it was reacting. But Tesla's most critical vulnerability lay in its supply chain, a former strength that had turned into a liability. Tesla's gigafactories were meant to be the foundation of its global EV dominance. By vertically integrating production, Tesla aimed to cut costs and maintain quality. For a while, it worked. Tesla led the industry in automation and battery integration, but when global supply chains tightened, those very gigafactories became a bottleneck. Tesla's centralized model relied on steady access to materials like chips and lithium. As shortages hit, production targets were slashed and delays piled up. Meanwhile, competitors like BYD and Hyundai, with more flexible supply networks, adapted more quickly. Tesla's aggressive expansion also backfired. Gigafactories in Texas and Germany launched before they were fully ready, leading to inconsistent output, logistical problems, and labor issues. Instead of solving bottlenecks, these new facilities added to Tesla's woes, slowing production and driving up costs. At this stage, Tesla no longer resembled a nimble tech disruptor. It looked more like a legacy automaker bogged down by its own rigid structure. And the supply chain issues didn't end there. Unlike BYD, which controlled battery production internally, Tesla was still heavily reliant on third-party suppliers like Panasonic, LG, and CATL, a vulnerability that would prove costly during times of global disruption. This meant Tesla was at the mercy of external supply chains, making it vulnerable to cost fluctuations, shortages, and delays. As global demand for EV batteries soared, Tesla found itself competing with other automakers for limited resources. Battery prices skyrocketed, squeezing Tesla's profit margins and causing further production delays. Meanwhile, competitors like Ford, Volkswagen, and Hyundai aggressively invested in their own battery production, reducing reliance on third-party suppliers. Tesla also suffered from over-reliance on China for critical materials. Over 70% of the world's lithium processing happens there, making it nearly impossible for Tesla to secure a stable, cost-effective supply without facing geopolitical risks. As tensions between the US and China escalated, Tesla's dependence on Chinese battery suppliers became increasingly unstable and costly. Compounding the issue, Tesla's vertical integration strategy meant any disruption in one part of its supply chain could halt the entire production line. Unlike BYD, which operated multiple battery production facilities, Tesla was locked into contracts with a small group of key suppliers, limiting its ability to adapt during shortages. While other automakers diversified their supply chains, Tesla remained vulnerable to shifting trade policies, material price hikes, and logistical setbacks. Facing these challenges, even Tesla's biggest supporters began to question its ability to sustain long-term growth. But Tesla's supply chain woes weren't limited to batteries. They also revealed a deeper problem: Tesla's fading technological lead. Tesla's full self-driving, FSD, and autopilot software were once seen as the future of driving. Elon Musk had promised fully autonomous vehicles that would make human drivers obsolete. Early on, Tesla's autopilot gave it a huge edge, attracting tech-savvy buyers and setting the company apart from traditional automakers. However, over time, Tesla's self-driving technology failed to live up to the hype. Regulatory roadblocks, safety concerns, and several high-profile crashes triggered lawsuits and government investigations. In the US, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration launched multiple probes into Tesla's autopilot failures, further damaging its reputation. Meanwhile, competitors like Waymo, Cruise, and even BYD developed more advanced driver assistance technologies. Unlike Tesla, which relied primarily on camera-based systems, these rivals used LiDAR and radar, which proved more reliable in real-world conditions. As a result, Tesla's once cutting-edge self-driving software now looked outdated. Additionally, Tesla's over-the-air updates often introduced glitches, unexpected braking, phantom stops, and erratic lane changes that made headlines and raised safety concerns. Once the undisputed leader in autonomous driving, Tesla was struggling to keep up. The company had focused too much on bold promises instead of delivering consistent, tangible improvements, while competitors rapidly closed the gap. Tesla was also falling behind in vehicle development, frustrating customers with outdated models and long delays. When Tesla launched the Model S, it was revolutionary. The Model 3 followed, making EVs more accessible. But Tesla hasn't significantly updated its lineup in years, and customers noticed. Competitors like BYD, Volkswagen, and Hyundai continue releasing new models, while Tesla has struggled to deliver key promised vehicles. The Cybertruck, first announced in 2019 as a potential game-changer in the pickup market, has been delayed repeatedly due to production setbacks, design changes, and supply chain problems. The highly anticipated affordable Model 2, expected to dominate the entry-level EV segment, is still nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, Tesla's existing lineup, primarily the Model 3 and Model Y, has seen only minor updates since launch. Customers, seeking better interiors, new features, and more affordable options, are turning to competitors, offering more variety and innovation. This stagnation is a major risk. In the automotive industry, staying ahead means constantly evolving, but Tesla is losing ground. New entrants like Rivian, Lucid, and NIO are bringing fresh designs and next-generation technology, challenging Tesla's dominance in ways unimaginable just a few years ago. The problem is clear. Tesla is no longer setting the industry's pace. Its lack of new models, combined with supply chain struggles and fading technological leadership, is pushing the company further behind in the EV race. Tesla's troubles didn't end there. Another major issue became impossible to ignore. Elon Musk himself. Musk's bold decisions and ambitious promises helped turn Tesla into more than just a car company. It became a movement. But in 2022, Musk made a decision that shocked the business world. He bought Twitter for $44 billion, diverting his focus from Tesla at the worst possible time. Tesla investors were immediately concerned. The EV market was entering its most competitive phase yet, and instead of leading Tesla through it, Musk was absorbed by his new social media empire. He spent months restructuring Twitter, firing executives, implementing controversial policies, and engaging in online debates unrelated to Tesla's future. Meanwhile, Tesla's stock plummeted, losing billions in market value as investors worried about Musk's divided attention. Tesla employees, already stressed by production and supply chain issues, felt abandoned by their leader. Elon Musk's hands-on leadership had once been an asset, driving Tesla's innovation and efficiency. But now, as Tesla faced massive production bottlenecks, pricing instability, and intensifying competition, the CEO was not fully engaged. Customers began to sense the shift. Tesla's brand had long been synonymous with Musk, but as his public persona grew increasingly polarizing, many started to reconsider their loyalty. Some customers canceled their orders, while others took to social media to express frustration over declining service quality, delayed vehicle updates, and the lack of new models. Tesla's competitors seized the moment, while Musk was preoccupied. With Twitter, companies like BYD, Hyundai, and Volkswagen aggressively expanded their electric vehicle offerings, capturing Tesla's lost momentum. By the time Musk refocused on Tesla, the damage was already done. But Musk's personal controversies were only part of the problem. Tesla was now facing an even bigger threat: China's EV dominance. Tesla's early success was built on a technological edge and first-mover advantage. Meanwhile, China quietly built an EV empire. Today, China controls 70% of global battery production and dominates EV supply chains like no other country. While Tesla revolutionized electric vehicles, China secured raw materials, manufacturing, capacity, and government support needed to dominate the industry. Chinese automakers like BYD, NIO, and XPeng have grown rapidly, flooding global markets with affordable, high-quality EVs. What makes these companies especially dangerous to Tesla is their vertical integration. They control everything from battery production to final assembly, significantly lowering costs. BYD even produces its own batteries, something Tesla still relies on external suppliers for. The Chinese government played a crucial role in this expansion, offering generous subsidies, incentives for local EV buyers, and infrastructure investments that enabled Chinese automakers to grow at a speed Western companies couldn't match. Despite being one of the best-selling brands in China, Tesla is struggling to maintain its position amid regulations, trade restrictions, and rising local competition. Tesla's foothold in its most important international market is at risk. Tesla's over-reliance on Chinese supply chains is another vulnerability. Even with a gigafactory in Shanghai, Tesla still depends heavily on Chinese suppliers for batteries, semiconductors, and raw materials. This puts the company in a precarious position. Any geopolitical conflict, supply chain disruption, or policy change from China could severely impact production. Meanwhile, Chinese automakers are aggressively expanding into Tesla's key markets, including Europe and North America. With lower production costs and increasingly advanced technology, brands like BYD offer better value for money, forcing Tesla to lower prices to compete, further cutting into profits. While Tesla struggles against China, another competitor looms: legacy automakers. The rise of legacy automakers. Companies like Ford, Volkswagen, and Hyundai were once seen as lagging behind in the EV revolution, but that perception has changed. Legacy automakers have finally caught up, investing billions in EV research, battery technology, and production capacity. Those who once relied on gas-powered vehicles are now producing some of the most competitive electric cars on the market. Ford has seen massive success with the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 Lightning, bringing Tesla-level innovation to mainstream buyers. Volkswagen, through its ID series, has rapidly scaled EV production by leveraging its massive manufacturing infrastructure. Hyundai and Kia have introduced models like the Ioniq 5 and EV6, praised for their range, design, and charging speeds, outperforming some Tesla models in key areas. Tesla's early advantage in range and performance is no longer unique. Legacy automakers now offer similar or better battery efficiency, faster charging, and more luxury features, often at lower prices. Tesla also faces growing competition in customer service and reliability. Unlike Tesla's direct-to-consumer sales model, legacy brands have established dealership networks, making repairs, servicing, and warranties more accessible. Some buyers, who once saw Tesla as the only EV option, are now turning to trusted automakers that offer better long-term support. Meanwhile, Tesla's aging lineup is another concern. With competitors releasing new models every year, Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y, still its sales backbone, are starting to feel outdated. Companies like Volkswagen and Hyundai are offering fresh designs and cutting-edge technology, while Tesla has been slow to update its vehicles, relying instead on software updates to keep them relevant. With all these factors working against Tesla, the company faces an uphill battle in maintaining its leadership in the EV market. The question remains: what happens next? Can Tesla survive? Despite its challenges, Tesla isn't dead yet. It still leads in brand recognition, charging infrastructure, and software innovation. But if it wants to remain dominant, it must adapt fast. There are 3 critical areas Tesla needs to fix immediately. Expand its lineup. Tesla cannot rely on the same few models forever. The company must introduce new vehicles that cater to different price points, including the long-promised affordable Model 2. Fix supply chain vulnerabilities. Instead of relying heavily on Chinese suppliers, Tesla needs to diversify production, ramp up battery manufacturing, and secure its own raw materials sources. Refocus on innovation. Tesla must regain its technological edge, particularly in battery efficiency, self-driving capabilities, and charging speeds. Its 4680 battery technology and full self-driving software need to deliver on their long-standing promises. The next few years will determine Tesla's fate. If the company successfully navigates these challenges, it could reclaim its lead and remain the face of the EV revolution. But if it fails to adapt, Tesla risks becoming just another automaker overtaken by BYD, Volkswagen, Hyundai, and future competitors. Lessons from history. What can Tesla learn? Other automakers have fallen before. Tesla's story echoes past industry shifts where innovation was the difference between survival and decline. General Motors' EV1. In the late 1990s, General Motors introduced the EV1, the first mass-produced electric vehicle by a major automaker. It featured futuristic design, strong consumer interest, and a vision for an all-electric future. Yet, at a time when gas prices were low and demand uncertain, GM cancelled the program in the early 2000s, citing high production costs, limited profitability, and lack of charging infrastructure. Instead of refining and expanding the EV1, GM recalled and destroyed nearly all the vehicles, effectively killing what could have been the start of the electric revolution. This decision turned out to be one of the biggest miscalculations in automotive history. By abandoning the EV1, GM left the door open for a new player: Tesla. In the 2000s, Elon Musk's startup capitalized on the void, proving electric vehicles could be profitable, technologically advanced, and desirable. Tesla became the undisputed leader in the EV industry for more than a decade. But now, history may be repeating itself, with Tesla at risk. Like GM in the 90s, Tesla was once an industry pioneer, but its lead is shrinking as competitors advance in technology, affordability, and innovation. If Tesla fails to adapt, improve production efficiency, and expand its lineup, it could face the same fate as GM's EV1, left behind as others take control of the market. Ford's Model T monopoly in the early 1920s, Ford was the undisputed leader of the automotive industry, controlling more than 50% of the US car market. The Model T was revolutionary, affordable, reliable, and mass-produced using the first-ever assembly line. It transformed personal transportation and cemented Ford as the most powerful automaker worldwide.